for a few minutes after I give an introductory remark. Majestic Realty, as most of you know, the largest privately held developer and owner of master plan businesses. In 2017, Majestic acquired their property in North Laredo, approximately 2,000 acres, and we're going to be talking today about a tax incentive initiative, that agreement that the city and Majestic is working their way through. And also as a reminder, in 2019, Majestic Realty was nominated and won our organization's Economic Development Industry Award for Project of the Year. And so congratulations again, Mr. Simmons. Would you like to introduce yourself and your company?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Gene. So, you know, Majestic is, as Gene mentioned, we're kind of at the lower end of the IQ pool of the development universe, in that we're just 4 concrete walls and a roof. You know, industrial has been our company's, you know, quote, fastball, if you will, of various pitches. We do, however, you know, develop other asset classes. We have some office assets, some retail assets, some hospitality work. You know, actually, one of the things that is kind of unique is we were the developers of the Staples Center here in Los Angeles. And my chairman and CEO, Ed Roski, is the 2nd generation owner of Majestic. His father started the business back in 1948. So we've been doing this for the better part of 73 years now. We've been investing in Laredo for a little over 20 years. We have a portfolio now in Laredo that is comprised of, let's see, about, I think it's 7 different properties totaling about 2 million square feet of industrial space. But most importantly, as Gene had mentioned about, gosh, you know, time is a flat circle here in the pandemic, but I think it was maybe 5-6 years ago, we had the opportunity through a partnership where we have Mercedes-Benz as one of our clients back on the East Coast, introduced us to the Port Grande property, which, as many of you probably know, was the former Uniroyal, then Michelin, and then ultimately Mercedes-Benz testing track. And we've been looking for more opportunities to invest in Laredo for many different years. And when this came around, it was too good to pass up. So a property that we've been working through master planning and kind of a test hypothesis of development in a first phase, which consisted of about 1 million square feet over 4 different buildings. Very excited to be here today, especially as we've been tracking the growth of cross-border trade, to have such a sizable opportunity to develop in Laredo. As I've shared, you know, in the past with Olivia, with Tony, with Gene, you know, Majestic sees Laredo as such a linchpin of cross-border trade, and that Laredo, you know, needs a Majestic and others of our kind to be coming in and investing in this market, because, you know, Laredo needs to be competing with Houston and with Chicago and with Los Angeles and with New York, and not competing with McAllen and Brownsville and Eagle Pass. It's such a bigger market than it oftentimes does not get the credit for, but we certainly see that. And we see the runway for cross-border trade and, you know, kind of the North American reshoring and onshoring of manufacturing as the challenges with Asia Pacific, you know, continue on a macroeconomic basis, that, you know, Laredo will be an absolute benefit, you know, just because of its geography and its ties to kind of the triangle of Monterrey, Guadalajara, and Mexico City, everything going on in the Bahia. We really see the, you know, the opportunity for Laredo to capture a lot of that trade, which is why we are so focused on our investment in this market, which has precipitated one of the reasons why I have the chance to visit with everyone today. We've been working with Teklo for the better part of, I want to say, longer than a year at least, but on the concept of a public-private partnership, whereby can Majestic invest in this community? And then if Majestic invests in the community, can the community invest with Majestic? And we do this in a lot of our larger business parks throughout the country, whether it be here in my backyard in the City of Industry, or if it's in Florida or Pennsylvania or Denver, or you know, kind of you name it, where these larger investments that we have we want to work with the city, with the county, with the local municipalities on coming up with these types of partnership arrangements where there is a mutual benefit, whereby if Majestic's going to provide the investment, that we're partnering with the city. In this particular instance, one of the things that we've committed to, obviously, is not only just an investment of capital in the creation of jobs and tax revenue, but one of the things that, Tekla and I discussed was a need for city services. So part of this, proposed partnership that we're working on is Majestic's going to donate land to the city of Laredo for a future police and fire station, because we found it's an underserved aspect of that region, something that region needs from an emergency services perspective. And so, we understand it needs to be a give and take. We're a long-term investor. We're what we are called a portfolio developer, meaning basically we don't sell anything. We just build and lease and hold on to our assets. So making sure that our role in the community is a proper partnership, because unlike a lot of my development peers that essentially have a very successful business model of build it for as inexpensive as you can to sell it for as much as you can, that's a very financially successful model, but ours is a little bit different, that we just hold on to our properties and lease them long term. So we want to be cooperative members of the community because we're going to be in the community, as evidenced by our 20-year history thus far. So that's probably longer than Gene than I needed to be, but there you have it.
Oh, it's certainly appropriate. It's some of the dialogue that I think we're going to have over the next 45 minutes anyway. So thank you.